In our media production we used Home by Gabrielle Aplin. The style of music is within the folk, country and indie genre. We followed conventions by keeping the video quite soft, matching the song using a mellow theme towards our video. We first off were inspired by the original video of the pre-storyline, before the music started, which she uses in many of her videos such as Please Don't Say You Love Me. We used this as we wanted to get a sense of the audience being a part of the video and not just the music. We wanted to get the noise of the video and the train going past showing her wanting to leave, but the train actually going past shows how she can't get away. Also, the inspiration for trains came from her video of the travelling. In addition, the Royals Lord cover by Kina Gwennis gave us an idea from her video of a low-medium shot while at a train station. In our video we wanted to have the shot as we tried it out a few times. In the original, most of the lip-syncing could be seen in the bedrooms of the hotels. We took this on board and continued to keep the lip-syncing in the bedroom. We did this to follow the conventions of the video. We also did this to show that her bedroom was a comfort zone and that she felt she could write the song. Then we did the lip-sync at the lake. This was to show how this is where she wanted to be, with the nature to get away from the busy city life. We got the inspiration for using the instruments and writing the song from the music video Joe Brooks' Superman. In the video he's writing a song for the relationship of a girl he is with. We took the aspect of him playing and writing the song, as we wanted to follow the conventions of a mellow song. We wanted to show her writing the song and having the progression of her wanting to get away from the busy city life. We used the convention of the music video Make a Beast of Myself by Twin Atlantic. We took the idea of him walking down the street with people looking at him, although we decided we wanted it to be a busy area where no one was looking at the actress, as we thought it would be more challenging towards conventions and it was easier to portray the story of her being ignored by people. This was an instigation of her wanting to get away. With the focus pull shot, we were inspired by the Passengers Let Her Go video, in which they used the focus shot in the background of the fairy lights. We used this as we wanted the video to be interesting and pleasing to watch. We also did this with the colour scheme of it being quite bright. However, we challenged conventions by showing some dark clips. We did this as we wanted to show how long she'd been waiting to get away. And at the end of the video we have her walking down the station and the title Home going away. This is to try and make the audience decide if she really did get on a train or if she went back and started the cycle all over again, which was implied by the title Going Away for it to restart again. The clothing throughout the video was a blue coat, jacket, jeans and trainers. We kept this the same throughout as we wanted to be coherent. We also wanted to make it out that she was wanting to get away and unable to move through time. The blue coat was to represent the sky, as she wanted something better than where she was.
For our print artefacts, we created a digipack and an album poster, which would be used to promote the album and to enable the audience to identify the artist from others, so it's essential that the print artefacts are memorable and eye-catching. We think that both of our print artefacts capture the essence of a young female folk-inspired singer-songwriter, with the kind of images that we have used and the codes and conventions that we have either followed or challenged. For the front cover of our digipack, we used a simple black and white photograph of the artist. We used a photography studio where we used lighting that enabled us to create a strong and well-composed image. We got the black and white idea from Gabrielle Aplin's album covers and posters, which we thought looked quite elegant and relates to the feminine and graceful style of the artist. However, we initially thought that this idea didn't necessarily link with the product that we had created, but we thought that it was appropriate to only use a simple photograph of the artist as the front cover because she is the main focus, and also because Gabrielle Aplin herself is a fairly recent artist, and by having the front cover as a portrait shot allows her to become easily recognisable for the target audience. The idea for the lighting was inspired by Ariana Grande's album cover. As you can see, the lighting highlights her face and creates a very powerful photograph. The text used on our front cover also reflects the artist's elegant style. using large text in capitals for her name and the album title in a font that looks like handwriting, which is continued on to the back cover and has written lyrics on the other images. The same fonts are used on both the digipack and the album poster so that it's consistent. This element links to our main product because in the music video we see the artist writing lyrics, which is why the handwritten fonts were appropriate on our ancillary text. To create the digipack as a whole, we took screenshots from the most interestingly composed and aesthetic shots from the music video. The fact that we took screenshots from the music video links the music video to the digipack, both through the style and mood provided by the colour and composition of images. In our music video we edited some of the shots to give them a slightly red tint. This is continued into the digipack, where we edited the still images in the same way as the music video, and this is shown in the photographs of the rose. These might seem a bit random, however they represent the fact that the artist often writes about relationships, which is why the slightly red theme is continued in the music video and the digipack. For the digipack as a whole, we think that the photographs used are appropriate for the genre and style of the artist, and also linked to the music video with consistent use of similar images that are aesthetic. Our digipack ties in well with our final product because of the colours used in both and represents the overall mood of the artist's style. We show the digipack and album poster to 20 people, and we asked them to give us feedback asking how well they thought the print artefacts tied in with the production. Much of the feedback was positive when they talked about the digipack, with one saying that there was an effective use of significant screenshots. Another said that the digipack was very well tied in and the colours symbolised the song very well, suggesting that others thought that the combination of our main product and ancillary text were effective too. It proved difficult to keep the information to a minimum so that we didn't clutter the poster, and we had to make sure that this was the right information to still keep it as an informative poster. The poster includes the name of the artist and the album title. We have also included some of the successful singles that she has released from the album, and a quote from NME that states how good the album is. This is a real quote which will hopefully convince the audience to buy the album. We have also included the record label, the fact that it's available to buy on iTunes, and the websites that link to the artist. And we have also highlighted important elements with a bolder font. However, we personally think that we should have followed conventions by choosing a black and white album poster so that the audience are able to associate the front cover of the album and the poster together, but the poster that we have used links more to the product that we have actually created.
As a group, we have found audience feedback very important to consider because it's the thoughts of people who will judge the production when it's finally done, and we have found that using people's opinions throughout was really helpful and useful in helping us shape our final production to fit the needs of the people that are going to watch it. Because of this, we have used audience feedback in several stages of our production, and that was before we have started filming and once we have finished. And we have used an online questionnaire on SurveyMonkey as well as just normal printout ones to gain responses, and our target audience was predominantly other students. However, the online questionnaire allowed us to also have a more wide range of people answer our questions. Although we have worked as a group, we have decided that in order to collect a wide and representative range of responses, it would be best and useful if we created separate questionnaires. Many of the questions were the same, such as the gender and age of the person taking the questionnaire. Despite the question asked being the same, it gave us a firm idea of the demographic of our target audience. For example, the average age of the group of the people taking the questionnaire was 16 to 19. However, working separately on the task gave us the opportunity to create more questions, as separately we came up with a wider variety of them. Together, the questions, such as the ones I will go over in a second, helped us with the general idea of what we should produce. One of the questions made by Lana asked if people preferred the story and singing to be together, as opposed to one or the other on their own. 90% of people liked the combination of narrative and performance shots being intertwined within a music video. Although we would have used this combination anyway to match general conventions of a music video, this feedback showed us that the audience would have a positive reaction to this choice. Lana also asked if people prefer the music video to be animated, black or white, or in full colour. The response to this question showed that 80% of people said that they preferred the music video to be in colour, and therefore we have decided not to put filters on our shots, which would make the video look overly dull. Emily asked if people preferred watching videos with dance routines in them. Over a third of people said they didn't enjoy dance routines within a music video, which insinuated that we shouldn't worry about a complicated performance, and instead focus on the narrative aspect with a simple performance. This type of toned-down performance also proved more suitable and fitting within the music genre of the song we settled on. Another question asked by Emily was if people liked special effects within a music video. Although the vast majority said they enjoyed special effects being used in the music videos, we did not think them appropriate with the song we have chosen, which is more suitable with a calm and natural-looking video. Instead, we settled for some colour correcting so that the video would still be pleasing to watch. On top of that, although we did not put the shots on a final production, we have experimented with things like the After Effects on Photoshop and using green screen. I have asked which genre people would rather listen to out of the ones that were listed in the question. The top 3 answers to this question were rock, pop and indie. These types of answers had a large effect on our choices. The main music genre which Gabrielle Aprin sings are pop and indie, so we thought that she was a good choice and artist to suit our target audience. Another question asked by me was how long should a music video be compared to the length of the song. 80% of people said that both should have the same length, however 10 were indifferent and the other 10 said that it should be longer. So in order to fit with Aprin's style, we have added a short clip before the titles while the song is silent, which wouldn't affect the people who said that it should be the same length. We have also found it useful to have feedback from the audiences when deciding upon a final print artifact. We have created 4 possible posters to advertise a single, an album, and gave out a handout with all 4 of them to 25 people. Nearly everyone settled for either one of the coloured versions, with only 2 people picking black and white versions. However, poster 1 outvoted poster 3 by 3 votes. We thought this choice suiting as our production was also made in full colour. Nevertheless, we have learned that people definitely find advertisements more eye-catching and interesting when they are in full colour. To gain a good range of responses which would be representative of our target audience, we have used 2 types of feedback to see what the audiences thought of our finished product. Firstly, we used a more conventional way of getting responses through creating a questionnaire online using SurveyMonkey. The online service allowed us to reach a large number of people, 20 in total, that print-out versions of the questionnaire would not allow us to have. The second was verbal feedback, where we interviewed 6 people, 3 boys and 3 girls, from the target audience, asking them for questions about our final production. This was very useful because they were able to give us some in-depth answers, which the online survey didn't provide. Here are the results from the survey and what they have thought us. This question simply represents that the feedback wasn't biased towards any gender. This wasn't intentional as we had no control over who answered the question, but it does suggest that there is a nice split between girls and boys within our target audience. Most people rated our final production as either excellent or good. Only 2 decided upon average, while none gave it negative rating of poor or very poor. This has shown us that overall we have achieved to create a product which our target audience could really enjoy. The vast majority of people agreed that we have put a lot of effort into planning. 21 agreed that it was planned but only slightly. No one thought that we haven't planned at all. This shows that although we have done very well on our planning, we still have room for improvement. As suggested by later feedback, we could have spent more time planning on a narrative and creating a better storyboard. The feedback from this question shows that we have done best on the shots compositions, while we should improve on mise-en-scene. So from this we have learned that we should pay more attention to aspects like costume and location, which are quite important rather than just camera angles. However, since altogether we have got 42 ratings rating 1 and only 5 rated 5, we think we did a pretty good job with our video anyway. From this question, we could tell that over half of the people thought that we used only some imagination in our production. There was still a significant proportion of 37% which thought that we have used high imagination and creative flair. However, we think that it's fair that most people voted some over high, because the video is rather simple. This was done to match the codes and conventions of similar music videos, as something more out of the ordinary might not have fitted in well. Nevertheless, we think that it was possible for us to add something like a romantic interest for the girl in the video, and the ratings might have been higher. 88% have enjoyed watching a production, while no one said they haven't enjoyed watching it at all. Although general, like question 2, this has shown us that we were successful with our production. There was an equal split between people who felt that our production fit in with the genre completely and only slightly. We think that having more interesting mise-en-scène and different people portraying the singer and the girl in the narrative may have been more suiting for a pop and indie song like Home, but people still found the video fitting. This was the most significant question in the survey because it allowed people to write down what they have thought we could improve. Within the feedback, we noted some recurring answers and drew some patterns, which gave us the things we needed to improve on the most. First of all, 7 answers noted that they would have liked to see more lip-syncing within the video. Initially, we thought that this was a strange thing to say because there is quite a lot of it in the video. However, on the further speculation, we have realized that we haven't distributed the performance shots very well throughout the video. Therefore, from this we have learned that the next time we should pay more attention towards not just what shots we put in the video, but also how we distribute the shots throughout it, so it doesn't seem like the shots are all clumped together and give an impression that there is too much or too little of the same thing. The second most noticeable thing was that the narrative was very unclear. People said that we could work on it further, that they didn't get it, that it was somehow confusing and it should be made clearer. We think this is down to the planning and also because we have only one actress to work with, after one boy had to drop out of filming. This experience and feedback has definitely taught us that finding reliable actors and creating easier narratives, which are realistically easier to film, is important to provide a quality product in the end. Another thing several people have picked up on is the video is repetitive, which makes it a little boring to watch. Although it's arguable that it's up to the perception of people, more varied shots will have made the video more interesting for people to watch. There was also some feedback which we thought would be important to comment on. For example, one person said that they would like to see a more professional setting for their performance shots. However, personally, we didn't think that this would suit the video, as we opted for the natural out scenery of the lake. This simple background didn't take attention away from the performer and didn't contrast with the other shots. Another person said that the camera shots should be steadier. The shaky camera in some of the shots, such as this one and this one, were intentional. We thought that the unsteadiness would be well fitted with the idea that the girl is undecided as to where her home is. However, some of the shots, which were not meant to be shaky, were either because of the slightly unsteady tripod or strong winds, for example on the top of the Birmingham Library. Finally, there was a person who said that we could have put some lyrics onto the shots. Although this would have made the video more interesting to watch, it wouldn't be fitting with April's style. We have also asked a question to do with the print artifacts. 75% of people believe that they fit in with the main production very well. 25% thought that they were okay, and none thought they didn't fit at all. There was a few people who thought that having Lana's face portrait rather than from the side would work better, but it's nothing which holds significant effect of the overall results. This was just a general question which gave people the chance to give us any final comment on the music video. Some people commented on the success of print artifacts or specific shots like the flower shots. All of the comments were positive, and this further showed us that although we have slipped on in some places, we had room for improvement, the production was a big success and did appeal to the target audience, as well as match the codes and conventions of contemporary pop and indie music, such as the one of April. The verbal feedback consisted of 4 simple questions, some positive and negative points, rating from 1 to 10, where 10 is the highest and 1 is the lowest, and if overall people enjoyed the video. Here are the responses to the questions.
Natural imagery used within it was quite interesting, and also I think the use of seasons was very good, especially when she was singing and the fact it was really cold and you could see her breath. I think that was really interesting and an original idea. I think the bad points were that sometimes I think somebody watching it would find it really hard to understand sometimes what the message of the video was, and sometimes you'd be like, well, where is she going, why is she at a train station? There's a lot of questions to be asked.
Okay, I thought the good point was that at the beginning the use of the home as a title was handwritten and ripped out. A bad point, I thought that it was quite confusing because we didn't really understand whether she was on the way home or she was already at home and we didn't understand what she was writing.
What I really found good about that is the editing, where like all the transitions between like from one scene to the other is really good, and her acting as well, it's really natural. And a bad point, I thought it was a bit too long. After around like 3 minutes, I thought it got a bit too far stretched, so that's a bad point.
I think that it was really good the way that it actually looked like a music video, like something that Ed Sheeran or Gabrielle Aplin would actually do. But then on the negative, I'd say that there was too much repetition in it.
To be honest, I think the good parts of your production is shot composition. I like the shots that you've created, and along with that, I think Lana's done good with the lip syncing, which I think is really effective because it makes it more believable to the audience itself, and makes the product stand out above other ones. Bad point, I'd probably say some of these scenes that you've put into the production are a bit confusing because I don't sometimes understand why they've been put in. I think it's obviously you've tried to make it a bit longer, but I just don't understand some of the scenes in general.
Like which ones?
Like some of the flower edits that you've put in there, I don't understand why they're there. I understand obviously it's to do with home. I mean, but do we know they're like flowers that you have back where you're from, for example, or are they just flowers that you like? I mean, I don't understand that.
With the good points and the bad points, I thought that it matched the conventions of the music genre pretty well. It had a good range of different shots and different framings, and had good effects and editing. It was well thought out and had a good narrative to it, and you could see that there was a story behind the shots. I think with the bad points, maybe just a little bit more lip syncing towards the start of the video to show it's her singing, and then maybe clear up the narrative a little bit more, but that's about it really.
My rating out of 10 is 6. I think it's really good in some ways that I really enjoyed it. However, I think really there's some things that could be improved.
Okay, my rating would be a 7 because I thought that the angle shots were really good and the blurring in and out, and what she could improve on the message of the video.
I think out of 10 it would be an 8. It could have been better, but I thought if it was just a bit shorter, I think it would have been better.
I would rate it as about an 8 as well, because it was really good and it was believable, almost professional, but I think that there was a bit too much of the same in it.
Rating, I would probably say that it's a 9 out of 10. Really good. I think it's really good anyway. I like the whole compositions, like I said, editing. I think you've done really well to kind of put it together.
I think I'll give this film about a 9 because it's got a very thought out video and it's very thorough and laid out, good editing, and it's pretty thorough to the convention and matches other music videos of this convention. So, yeah.
Well, I felt somewhat invested in the video, it kept my attention and I was engaged, which I think is a good thing with the music video.
Okay, overall I enjoyed the video, but I think that it could have flowed a bit better and there could have been more of a message behind it.
Yeah, overall I think it was really pleasing to watch, especially the song as well. It really fit in well with this setting and her acting and how she put it all together. I think it was really well done.
Yeah, I really liked the whole video. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. It was really interactive, and I just liked the video. Generally liked the video.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching this music video and it was very good, and you'd see this perhaps on the web and think it could be a professional video as well.
Okay, thank you.
Holding a short interview as a means of getting audience feedback proved very insightful because people gave reasons as to why they thought something was good or bad and explained their rating. From this verbal feedback, we have learned that the strongest point of the production was definitely seemed to be that we had a good range of shots, as well as the composition and editing of the shots. People also found it quite believable and something they'd see on a music or TV channel. Our idea for the cut-out stop-motion title also got positive feedback, and this showed us that people are open to new ideas which challenge general conventions, although we did include normal titles as well. With the bad points, it was clear that we should definitely work on the narrative more. As stated by the people in the video, many found it confusing and unclear as to the message. We think that this was because of the fact that we didn't consider going over Tadros' theory, which alludes to distinct stages needed for a narrative to come across clearly and make sense. Also, since the video was long and we were limited as to where to go and how we had to act, it was considered a bit repetitive. This constructive criticism fits in with the other one from SurveyMonkey, which also made these 2 points. The need for planning to make music videos more interesting is definitely something that we have learned from this feedback. Finally, everyone said that they enjoyed watching the music video, even if they didn't do to a full extent. This feedback proved very positive and gave us confidence within our final production.
The first technology we used was the internet. This was so that we were able to record all of our research, planning and development. We set up a blog using the website Blogger. Blogger is a free online platform which we use to publish all of our research for our music video. By doing so, it allowed us to keep a backlog of everything that we did, so that we were organised. To conduct any research, we used the search engine Google to look for any relevant websites that linked to our product, such as gaining information on our artist, finding out her genre and record label. We used YouTube as a way to view clips that we needed and analyse the code and conventions of the music videos, which we were inspired by. Having the access through YouTube allowed us to research a variety of music videos from similar artists such as Passenger and other music videos from Gabrielle Aplin. We used Microsoft Word to create questionnaires for our research. We printed these out and gave them to members of our target audience so that we could log this and write on our blog for reference. We have created 2 surveys using SurveyMonkey, one for the research stage and one for helping us with the evaluation. The Office programs such as Word and PowerPoint were mostly used throughout the planning and evaluation stages. They allowed us to list down our ideas as well as write down the evaluation questions and development graphs. Bubbleless, an online website which lets you create mind maps for free. We use this to list down all of our ideas for our music videos to help us decide which idea we wanted to use. To create our storyboard, we used Wacom WX12 drawing tablet and we used MyPaint, which we used to draw the shots on our storyboard.
In the making of our music video, we used a Nikon D3100 DSLR camera. By using this camera, we were able to get high quality footage. We were able to create effective focus pulls by defocusing and refocusing the image. The camera was also used to take images for the poster and the digipack, so we were able to get a large depth of field to make our photographs look more professional. We used a tripod for the static shots in the music video to help us get steady camera shots. And we also used a tripod with wheels, although the shots did not make it into the final production. We used Adobe Premiere Pro to edit our music video where we pieced it all together. We added effects and transitions such as dip to black to show a new scene and cross dissolve to show a passage of time. We used Adobe Photoshop to manipulate our poster and the images on our digipack, which enabled our in-studio text to look professional and include all the right conventions. Photoshop enabled us to alter the colours, lighting and shadows on our images. For example, on our album cover we made it black and white and altered the levels. The text used on our delivery text were also from Photoshop. A photography studio was used for the print artifacts to create a strong and well-composed image with the use of professional lighting. Although we didn't use a green screen in the final production, we did experiment with this as an initial idea. However, when we put it with our music video, it didn't work as effectively as we thought. We experimented using Adobe After Effects. Some of the shots that we wanted to edit required the use of After Effects, which is a more sophisticated editing software than Premiere when it comes to special effects. We used Adobe After Effects to edit the shot of the butterfly, where we made the background black and white but kept the butterfly in colour, but this didn't work as well as we thought, so we didn't use it in our final production. For our evaluation, we used Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. These office programs are mostly used throughout the planning and evaluation stages. They allowed us to list down our initial ideas as well as write down the evaluation questions and develop graphs for them later on. We use a voice recorder to record our voices for the evaluation questions. As I mentioned before, SurveyMonkey was used in the evaluation stage. We used it to gather an idea of what our target audience thought about our music video and how we could improve. The online questionnaire that we posted onto Blogger let us gain a large number of responses from a wide range of people, making our audience feedback less biased. It also made it more representative of the general public. We finally used a green screen in our evaluation when we asked members of our target audience to watch our production and give their opinion in an interview style. By using the green screen, we were also able to include backgrounds